Alright, in the next section we're going to look at what is morality, the three basic components of morality, how Piaget and Kohlberg explain the development of moral reasoning, what the important characteristics are of each stage of Piaget's theory, as well as the important characteristics of each level and stage of Kohlberg's theory. Okay, so what is morality? Morality is the ability to distinguish right from wrong, as well as to act on this distinction and experience pride when doing right and shame when doing wrong. Those are all how we look at what morality is. Now, developmental scientists focus on three basic components of morality: affective, cognitive, and behavioral. So affective is the emotional component. It's the feelings concerning ourselves and others. Guilt, concern for others' feelings. Cognitive is our thoughts of right and wrong. So how do we conceptualize what's right and what's wrong, and how do we make decisions about how to behave? And then behavioral, of course, is our actions. This reflects how we behave when, for example, we experience temptation to cheat, or we're called upon to help a needy person. Moral affect is the emotions felt when you do wrong or right. So your shame and guilt versus your pride in yourself. And these can really motivate our behavior, as emotions are good at doing. Negative emotions can keep us from doing what we know is wrong, whereas positive emotions can help us to do what is correct. Empathy is vital to moral development. This is our ability to vicariously experience others' feelings, so we know what is going on with the person. It's different than sympathy, where you feel sorry for someone. Empathy is you're actually putting yourself into that person's shoes, and you're really feeling what's going on with them. You're feeling their pain. Empathy can really help to motivate prosocial behavior, which are positive acts of helping or sharing, where you reflect a concern for others. So for instance, if you've never dealt with homeless people before, they might intimidate you, they might scare you a little bit, you really don't know how to feel about them, you want to avoid them. Whereas if you've been homeless yourself at some point, you understand what they're going through, how difficult their life is, you understand what they need and how to help them. And so you're much more likely to do something for them because you have experienced that negative state in your life.
It's a typical day at Matson's Market in Burlington Township, New Jersey. Shoppers line up to pay for their groceries.
I think those are on sale too.
Only on this day,
EBT.
I'm sorry?
EBT.
Oh, food stamps? Okay.
one shopper is coming up short.
It says insufficient funds.
It says what?
Insufficient funds.
This could be a scene playing out in your own hometown grocery store.
I'm a single parent and I have 4 kids.
A mother or father struggling to feed their family. With food stamp usage up 20% from last year, with a striking 1 in 8 Americans needing assistance, we wanted to see how fellow shoppers might react to someone in need.
I'm gonna try it again.
So we rigged these cameras inside the store to capture these women, all actors we've hired.
I have $50 on my card.
Along with the cashier, she's part of our team too.
You don't have enough on there.
Take off the baby food.
There's no way. I have no money on my card.
Can we put this back? Okay.
At the cash register, our first actor tries to check out.
This has never happened before.
How much does she need? 16.
In only a matter of minutes,
No, please.
Thank you.
help from not just one, but 2 generous
We
strangers.
wanted this back on.
That's okay.
You'll pay for the baby food?
Minutes later, when our actor's food stamp card is denied again,
That's all right. Give it to her. Give it to her.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
it seems like everyone in this small-town store wants to help.
Okay.
Until our actor steps into that checkout line one more time.
It's never happened to me before.
This man listens, appearing sympathetic to our actor in distress.
I don't have any cash.
But then, out of nowhere, watch this man. He counts just enough money to cover his own groceries. And then he offers the rest to our actor.
I'm so embarrassed.
I would do it if I had more cash.
I understand. I'm lucky to have a job still, so.
It's time to meet this Good Samaritan.
I'm John Quinones with the TV show What Would You Do?
Yes.
And this is all part of a scenario about what you would do if you saw somebody in need.
You know, it is tough times for a lot of people, you know, and a lot of people don't have jobs now. And, you know, like she was saying, she's a single mother. She has 4 kids. I mean, how could you not help somebody like that? It's the least I could do, you know?
Sort of paying it forward.
Exactly. You know, you do good things for people and good things come back to you.
We try it again, and this time,
Oh my God.
this young man appears to hear everything.
Sorry to hold up the line, y'all. Just
Yet we wondered if he was ignoring our actor's
how much
troubles.
money do I need? Can you take the $4?
Then, to our surprise, help from a passerby.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
The generous donor rushes off without comment. But remember that first man who we thought seemed indifferent to our mom in need? Well, he says he knows a thing or two about what our actor has just experienced.
How did you feel?
I felt bad for her. I wish I could have helped, but you know, like you said, times is hard right now, and I didn't even have the money to help her. Like she said, she was going through EBT. That's the same thing I have.
You're also on food stamps?
Yes.
And you bought that with food stamps?
Yeah.
Wow. Things are tough.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Consistently, throughout the day, fellow shoppers offered to help our mom. The few who didn't told us they simply didn't have the money. But we wondered, what'll happen if a fellow shopper feels the giving has gone too far?
Maybe you've milked the system long enough. How about that?
We decide to up the ante and add another actor to the mix.
I have a job too.
Well, what's the problem?
Food stamps.
Oh, here we go with this again.
At first glance, this woman seems distracted by a phone call.
It's insufficient funds. That's food stamps, right? Yes.
But then,
Now I'm going to take these off. It'll probably go down a little bit more. Okay.
Go ahead, I'll pay for it. Go ahead and get her stuff.
Gracias, de veras.
enter our
Do you want me to just
rude
put yours on
customer.
there?
You're really gonna pay for her?
I can pay you back. You have an address.
Bag your stuff up. Go ahead.
No, I can pay you back.
Bag your stuff up. It's okay. It's a blessing. Take it as a blessing.
She can't speak English. I mean,
At first, the woman tries to ignore the nasty commentary.
But God is blessing you to take your stuff and feed your family, okay? Okay?
Gracias.
All right,
Muchísimas
give me one.
gracias.
Until she hears something she really doesn't like.
that doesn't help these people. It really doesn't.
Is it your money or is it my money?
I
It's my
understand.
money. Let me spend my money the way I want. God told me to bless her so she can feed her family. Let her feed her family.
That's a wonderful thing, but the problem is that doesn't help people in that position.
Goodbye. You're embarrassing people. Like, seriously, this is our business right here. Thank you.
Then watch this young man who swoops in to escort our actor out of the store and out of earshot of the brewing argument.
Now, if you take your bags out, you're welcome.
Thank you.
No problem.
But this kind shopper has a few last words for our resident bully.
I've been a mother who had a hard time. Now,
over
God
here.
bless me with a good job and to support my family. Everybody has hardships. But if you can help the next person, help them.
It's time to de-escalate.
Hi, ma'am. I'm John Quinones.
Oh, my God.
It's all part of Please, come here. You're amazing. You're just amazing. Are you okay? Yeah. You okay?
Oh, you're on TV! Oh, my God! Where's that man? He was out too!
This is Lorraine, actually.
You're welcome.
Why did you step in?
I know how it is. I've been in the situation before where you just don't have enough. You're like, okay, can you just put back that pepper? So,
You've been there.
yes. I have.
You paid for the whole thing.
Yeah,
You probably need the money.
I do. And we all do. But you know what? If you can help somebody else,
Yes.
do it.
Virginia Willis's
Freud, of course, has an opinion on everything, and he discussed moral development. Some aspects of Freud's theory of moral development aren't supported, but researchers mainly agree with the ideas that moral emotions are an important part of morality and motivate moral behavior. Freud was the one who really talked about how our moral affect and our empathy helps to promote pro-social behaviors. He said that the formation of the superego, which is our conscience, happens during the phallic stage, and that this is critical. The superego is forming to help us resolve conflict, in his opinion, to help us resolve conflict over our love for our same-sex parent. Remember, we have the Oedipal and Electra complex going on. And the result is that we take the moral standards of our parent as our own moral standards. So similar to how we identify with their gender and what their gender means, if we're a man or a woman, a boy or a girl, we do the same thing with morality. So the superego is sort of like having your parent in your head. You hear their voice. They're the ones telling you what you should and shouldn't do.